Hi, this is Janet Wright, and this is another meditation demonstration walkthrough of aura healing, grounding, chakra healing, energy cord clearing, whatever we got to do to get really focused. I don't know if you can tell, but in the background there, my iPhone isn't doing a great job of picking it up, but it's all foggy, and there's this big row of evergreen trees right there, and behind that tree right there too. So I think fog is really like magical and awesome. So that's part of my inspiration for doing the video right now. So you can enjoy some of this Pacific Northwest foggy magicalness. Okay. So for me, why I want to get focused is because I want to do another video after this where I need to be focused, and also, of course, I have a whole workday of readings and healings that I'm going to do for people by phone and then not by phone. So, but I'm sure you have reasons that you want to be really focused today and make the most of today. So we're going to have this meditation, aura healing, grounding experience be about getting focused and present in as little as time as we can do it. Okay, so tasty warm beverage, essential. And I've also had a protein breakfast. You'll notice in my videos, the walkthroughs where I haven't eaten breakfast yet, they're lengthier. That's because when you do have a good solid protein breakfast, it brings you so much more present already. So then you don't have to do as much work with your meditation to get yourself present. Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes sometimes, but you can do it with eyes open or eyes closed, doesn't matter. So I'm going to, I'm standing, which I think is interesting. You could do this while you're standing, because obviously it's good to know how to ground while you're standing, while you're walking, while you're standing, while you're sitting, while you're lying down, all that good stuff. So anyway, your aura is all the way around you. Here's the edge of my aura. And up here, there we go. And below my feet too. It goes all the way behind me and in front of me, right? So this is the front edge of my aura. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use a red or an orange or a yellow grounding because I feel like those are the lower vibrations in the rainbow, and so there's still a really nice body-friendly, spirit-friendly vibe. Not too high, not too frenetic for my body. It's gonna help me get into all my chakras. So I'm going to imagine, for starters, a giant red waterfall that's as wide as my whole aura. It comes as high as my hips. I'm going to actually bring it all the way up to my solar plexus, which I don't always do, but it's fine to do, and it really grounds your lower three chakras, obviously, if your grounding comes up that high. Solar plexus is like if you have this hard bone right here, the sternum. And then where that bone ends, right, and the ribs come together, that's where your solar plexus is. That's where your third chakra is. Third chakra helps you to feel alert and awake. So it's a nice one to get flowing. People use caffeine to wake it up sometimes. I call it the caffeine chakra sometimes. Mine is awake right now anyway, although I am having caffeine, full disclosure. Some black tea. Okay, so I'm imagining my red waterfall. See how my mind is a little distracted? That's because I haven't grounded yet. A lot of people are like, I can't meditate, I keep thinking of other things. No, it's a process, it's a journey. You are meditating just because you're trying. It's fine. So I'm not freaking out because I started thinking about tea and a million other things. It's natural when you first start grounding in the day, well, even later in the day maybe, your mind's gonna wander. You just gotta keep bringing it back. So I'm thinking of my red waterfall. I'm imagining how it connects down to the center of the earth, all the way down there. For me, I feel like there's big piles of energy blocks at the very bottom of my grounding that make it not as good of a release. It's almost like a dump site, like where I haven't finished releasing stuff. It hasn't yet gone into the center of the earth and been absorbed there. It's kind of stuck towards the bottom of my grounding. So I'm going to imagine the bottom of my grounding out in front of me, like a mini version of it, and I'm going to comb through it with gold light. And I'm just imagining this dump site down there. For me, it's because I just did this, giant group meditation for 20 people yesterday. It was a new experience, yada yada. So it's a good reason, that my grounding is kind of busy and blocked up. So you may have your reasons why your grounding is a little busy and blocked up. Doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong in life. So I'm just using the gold light that my imagination has. My intention is sending to these big piles, junk piles. There we go. So my junk piles are about half as big now in the bottom of my grounding. I have a guided meditation that does a little bit of this on my website called Grounding in Depth. It's 23 minutes long, and I call them shelves in your grounding. They're like little horizontal energy blocks in your grounding. So this is kind of like that, although mine was like a giant dump site, not just one shelf. So anyway, just lots of gold light. See, now I feel like the grounding is like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It's going all the way down to the center of the earth, so things are more fully releasing, which is great. I still feel like the back right of my grounding is a dump site, where piles are just piled up and they're not fully releasing. So backs of groundings, that's pretty common. So go ahead, double check the back, bottom of your grounding, make sure it's not a big dump site like mine is. And if it is, just use gold oil, gold soap, gold glitter, gold fire, whatever you want, gold flamethrower. Just kind of melt it down, be patient, let the gold light do its work. So now the dump site for me is only about 30% still there, so it's a lot smaller. So I'm gonna just be patient, keep using the gold light, keep breathing, keep imagining. Okay, awesome. Another thing that's going on with my grounding, which is pretty common, is like there's a more dense cylinder of it, like right down the middle of my grounding, like the center. It's like one time I read this woman and she actually didn't know that that was not supposed to be that way. She's like, oh yeah, it's like I sit on this stone pillar. And I'm really glad she told me, in a phone reading, so I could explain to her, no, that's not like a good thing, like you want it all to be flowing and releasing. You don't need a stone pillar to sit on in your grounding, so you just, if you have a stone pillar, or with me it's more like a gelatin pillar, like a jello. It's like mushy, but it's not flowing water. So just like kind of chop it up with gold light, and just get it melted down, get it down all the way absorbed into the center of the earth. Because your spirit can just reside in your body. You don't need stagnant energy to kind of root you at all. That's not going to help. So again, that just the center core of your grounding, just kind of comb through it with the gold light, and just make sure you get the sense that's flowing. I still have like a couple shelves, again, like horizontal, energy blocks. They just seem kind of like shelves, in my grounding. And I'm just imagining them, and people are corded into them, various people. I'm not going to worry about who it is. I'm just using gold light to melt away the cords. And that's really nice, because then that helps the shelves to just go and fall all the way down. It's like a little avalanche of shelves that just fell down to the center of the earth now that the cords weren't there anymore. There's one little stubborn shelf that has a couple energy cords from people going into it, so I'm gonna again focus on melting away the cords. There we go, very nice. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I feel like, personally, I feel like now with my grounding flowing and much more thoroughly flowing, so I can really let go of things, I feel almost like it's a brand new day. Like it was already a brand new day, but now I just get the sense of like, unburdening. you know? And that's the thing, like, you know, everyone likes that idea of letting go of things, but if your grounding is, you know, a clogged up dump site, it's really hard to let go of things. So anyway, yay. So that is how you let go of things. You actually really make sure it's happening down your grounding, and make sure you have a nice wide grounding and it's all flowing. Okay, tasty warm beverage break. Okay, so now we're just gonna quickly do like an aura mending and a chakra unclogging, because why not? How cool is that? Now you can see the trees better back there. Isn't that pretty? All that fog, I love that. Okay. Oh, I should pose for the thumbnail image of the video. Let's see. Okay. Alright, so now imagine a copy of your whole energy field out in front of you. So a big bubble out in front of you. My bubble is like this big, and for me it represents my whole aura and that beautiful flowing grounding that I have now that's red. And if you want orange or yellow, that's fine. Red did seem to work for me, so I just left it at red. And again, you know, make it your favorite shade of red, you know, or orange or yellow. You want to kind of customize it so you feel like, hey, this is mine. So it helps you be more likely to protect your turf. So what I'm doing is gold light comes out of the hands, and there are energy centers here. You just imagine them opening more. This is one big energy center, your hand chakra. And so energy fountains out of it when it's properly open and unclogged. There's a different aura healing video I did where we cleaned out the hand chakras really well. I guess we'll do it real quick. So imagine a big gold tub of healing energy, universal healing energy out in front of you, and then just dunk your hands in it, you know, and just kind of soak them so all the little joints and energy centers in your hands get unclogged. So like the fingertip chakras and that big chakra in the palm of the hand gets all cleaned out and healed. There we go. Okay, so get ready your tub of gold water. Did its work. Now your fingertip chakras and your hand chakras are unclogged, right? So I'm just focusing on, you know, really bathing my whole aura with lots of gold light. And I kind of feel that already. You know, I feel like a little bit of release of tension around my forehead. It does feel weird. It's like tension you didn't know you had, now you can feel releasing. I feel like there's stuff at the very top of my aura, a couple wax, which, yeah, that does happen. So little tears in my aura, and so I'm just using gold light and cleaning out the tears. These ones go in 7, 6, and 5, like go in 3 layers of my aura. So could be worse. So I'm just, as I wash out the tears with the gold light from my hands, they just kind of mend up. So now they're like little grooves that are in the 7th layer, which still isn't good. So I'm just going to keep washing them out. And my arms are getting tired, so I'm going to use gold flamethrowers, you know, just to kind of imagine that gold light mending up the grooves in my aura, the scratches in the edge of my aura on the top. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so now my aura is like inflating more because the holes are gone. It's like a tire, you know, when it inflates. And so my 7th chakra now, as it generates energy, that's the chakra in the center of your head. As it generates energy, it goes out to my 7th layer. Well, your 7th goes out to your 7th layer. And but now there are no big holes or gashes in my 7th layer. I think it's about 90% inflated, so maybe there's a little hole somewhere. Let's see. So with my intention, I'm just gonna, you know, mend up any little holes that I missed. I already did the top of my aura, so I'm gonna do like the middle and the bottom of my aura, because sometimes you do get rips and tears there too. Yeah, I can feel now. So that must have been it. I must have had a rip or tear in the middle or the bottom of my aura. I mean, I could use my intuition and find exactly where it is, but I don't want to like freak out viewers that are not as confident with their intuition. I want to show that even just with your intention, even if you don't know where the tear is, you can mend it up just with your intention. So now I feel like my aura is very, you know, poofy and happy with no tears in it, okay? Because we sent gold light through all the aura layers, right? And we have our grounding really, really wide and flowing. Let's double check that if you feel like your grounding got narrow. Mine got a little more narrow, so I'm gonna recreate it. I'll do orange this time for variety. So big, wide grounding. For me, I'm still gonna keep with that. It's going all the way up to my third chakra at my solar plexus where my ribs meet. Again, that's where your sternum, this hard bone right here ends down there. That's where your third chakra is. So my waterfall, my orange waterfall comes up that high and it's wide, it goes all around me. All right, cool. So now we're just gonna finish up with some chakra work. And chakras, you know, you could seriously work hours and hours, and it could be fun, you know, I mean, healing your chakras, but I think if you have good flow with your aura, good grounding most of the time, you're not going to get a ton of chakra damage just because your aura protects your chakras. So I think if you do a little more work on the aura, you can kind of cheat and not have to do as much work on your chakras. So that's why I think it's kind of unfortunate that, you know, in like popular spiritual culture, all you ever hear about is chakras. You don't really hear about healing your aura. But anyway, whatever. Chakras sound so sexy. Anyway, so I'm gonna just do simple. I'm gonna do all of them at once. Okay, so I'm imagining copies of all my chakras out in front of me. Okay, this is I have two videos, Psychic Chakras 101 and Psychic Chakras 201. They're gonna just inform you, give you all the basic data. Even Psychic Chakras 201, you could take notes. I mean, you don't have to memorize all that at once, but because it tells you what each one helps you with, each chakra. But anyway, the seventh chakra is oriented this way, upward. So it's a little cylinder and the energy goes in the bottom, spins around and fountains out the top. But all the other 6 down through 1 at the base of your spine, they're cylinders that are a little more open in the front, a little less open in the back, but still open. They're just more open in the front, right? So it's not like someone described it as a funnel on YouTube. I was like, no, it's not a funnel. Funnels are like really freaking narrow in the back. The whole point of the nice round back opening is that you keep it nice and wide and open in the back so that you can release energy, you know, like you could imagine like a fire hydrant, you know, where like water is gushing out the back. That's how you want your chakra to be releasing energy, a lot and lot. If it's real narrow in back, you can't release as much, and then it gets clogged, and then people can cord you. Not good. So nice wide opening in the front, nice wide opening in the back. Sometimes people confuse like open chakras with like being vulnerable to other people's energy. But if the chakras are open and flowing, you can be there. And if you're there, then other people don't have room to be there, right? It's like you're a fish and you want flow, okay? So anyway, so 6, 5, 4 is in the chest, 3 is at the solar plexus, 2 is like if my belly button is here, then 2 is like beneath that, and then 1 is at the base of the spine. Okay, but I'm gonna use copies out in front of me because it's easier. So I'm just imagining, you know, like 7 chakras out in front of me. And I'm not thinking of the amazing detail of each one. So if you can't see them, you're just using your imagination, that's perfect. Okay, so just use gold light. Imagine that you're melting away the clogs in the back of them all at once. You're melting away the clogs in the front of them all at once. You're melting away any energy cores that are going in the front or the back all at once. It's like if you had a bunch of spaghetti and you're just going, taking it out, you know? So just gold light, loosen up all the energy cores and just break them all off, melt them all away, dissolve them completely. And then 7th chakra is in the top of your head. That one's kind of easy to reach, so if you want, you can do it this way. And just, you know, heal it up in the top so it's flowing. and melt away all those energy cords. And same thing with the bottom of your 7th chakra. It's a round opening, so make sure it's not all corked up. Mine is like half corked up. So I'm going to use gold light and just kind of imagine melting away. For me, the corked up part is like there's some white and there's some gray. So I'm going to bring up some earth energy for that, because white is like such a high vibration that earth energy is like the opposite. Earth energy is very anchored, very rooted. So I'm bringing up my purple earth energy to the bottom of my 7th chakra. And I'm just bathing my whole 7th chakra in purple earth energy. And I'm combing that part specifically at the bottom that's clogged with gold light. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, cool. So again, that's quick, but it worked. I'm going to comb out the top of my aura, because particularly in the beginning of the day, when you're finally present enough, there's a little bit of compression here, because you probably have a lot that you want to release and a lot that you want to bring in, and sometimes it just kind of traffic jams up here. So I'm just combing through with extra gold light up here, which is nice. Okay, cool. So hope that worked for you. 21-minute meditation, quick. All right, but I do feel good. I'm widening my grounding once again. There we go. Now I'm ready to be focused and get things done. I hope this worked for you, and if you like it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments about what this meditation was like for you, feel free to do so in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe, and you can have YouTube notify you when I put out new videos. Okay, bye.